So, und damit ist es wieder zurück zu einer neuen Folge Genshin Impact. So, und weiter geht's mit der Mission. Wir brechen jetzt diese Zeitschleife. Wir brechen jetzt auf, die Zeitschleife zu beenden. Jetzt wird es ja wahrscheinlich das endgültigste Moment der Wahrheit zu durchlüften. Und ich weiß schon genau welches. Ich will erstmal einen Besuch abzustatten. Somit mit Abkürzungen kann ich das. So, fahr es. Jetzt gibt es bei mir kein Zurück.
You're back. You left in a hurry last time. Is everything okay?
Everything's fine. Just, it's a little hard to explain. Would you mind taking part in a little experiment with us?
An experiment? That came out of nowhere. I'm listening, though. What do you need me to do?
Could you make a wish?
Stell dir vor, dein Wunsch wird direkt vor deinen Augen wahr.
You want me to make a wish? Is that a new Sabzeruz festival tradition or something?
Less questions, more wishing!
Okay.
Was hat man gesagt?
Okay. My wish. My wish. Okay. I'm a little nervous saying this out loud, but I want Miss Dunyarzad to be happy.
Hinweis Nummer 1.
Oh.
I noticed earlier that she looked a bit down, and she wasn't really talking to anyone. She just doesn't seem like herself. She's always so gentle and kind, and all the kids love her. I've also wondered if the reason she asked me to be Fairest Knight of Flowers is because I'm special to her, or something.
So, you have a crush on Dunyarzad?
Oh, is it that obvious? After what I just said, I guess it is. When she placed the hat of the Knight of Flowers onto my head, she said to me, I want everyone to have a happy Sabzeruz festival. What she didn't realize was that I'm not that interested in how everyone else feels. In that moment, I just wanted to be her Knight of Flowers for the rest of my life. 50 years, 100 years, I'll serve her till the end of time. Okay, yeah, that was a bit much. Felt like the right moment to get it off my chest, but that was pretty embarrassing. Okay, I'm ready to make my wish. I would like Miss Dunyarzad to appear in front of me right now with a smile on her face. Here goes.
Please come true.
Ich hoffe, dass diese Wunsch in Erfüllung geht.
I'm gonna open my eyes. Oh, you're...
What?
Fucky? Sorry, but only one portion of Yalda candies per person. Back home you go. Nice try, you two. Anyway, never mind. I don't need to see her appear right in front of me. As long as she's happy.
Guess he isn't the host of this dream after all. Should have expected it wouldn't be this easy. It seems like everyone who knows Dunyarzad loves her. But none of them has any idea that she...
My lady, step back.
That sounds like Dia! Oh, right. This is when Dunyarzad bumps into the kidnappers.
Ich erteile Ihnen eine Lektion.
Huh?
Jetzt gibt's einen Kampf.
Hey, Traveler!
Jetzt gibt's einen Kampfmodus. Darauf habe ich auf die ganze Zeit gewartet. Ich habe ihn gefunden.
Oh, it's you. Great timing. Please take...
Ich kümmere mich um
Hey,
diese
this
Typen.
is my job. The Homiyanis pay me, not you.
Der? Keine Zeit zu reden. Los!
You... fine, alright. Knock yourself out. Why are you so worked up anyway? It's not like I don't trust your
Jetzt.
fighting skills. Anyway, watch yourself.
Gott.
So you got yourself some backup. Suit yourself. You're...
Du? Nicht mit mir. So nicht mit mir. Freundchen, jetzt gebt es jetzt einen schönen Tänzchen hier für euch. Sandra, geht. Und ich. Und den Trailer auch. Niemand legt sich mit mir. Ja? Und dann noch mit ihren 30, ja.
Useless.
Mein Geduld. Hier. So. Habt ihr nicht genug?
Traveler, were you just taking your anger out on those guys?
Mir geht's gut. Nun.
You and Nahida both. Dunyarzad wouldn't want to see you two like this. Oh, and speaking of her, Paimon just remembered something. Remember how during the first Sabzeruz festival, before the Samsara started, we came here with Dunyarzad because she wanted to pick something up? She said it was because she had forgotten something.
Das
Okay,
sagte
so
ja.
Paimon's memory is working so far. Anyway, Paimon also remembers that she is staying somewhere around here. She pointed it out to us the night before the Sabzeruz festival.
Wir müssen herausfinden, was das Ding ist.
Yeah, even if it's only a tiny clue, it'll probably still help us more than this needle in a haystack search.
Okay. Wir betreten
This is
jetzt.
the place. It's rude to enter other people's spaces without permission, but desperate times call for desperate measures.
Es bleibt keine andere Möglichkeit.
Hey, the windows are unlocked. Okay, Paimon's gonna take a peek inside. This was only a temporary residence, so there was pretty much nothing inside except this book on the table. Should we open it?
Da haben wir schon die. 16 Tage. Okay. Also ich möchte nicht so schnell das runterscrollen, da ihr schnell lesen würde. Könnt ihr eigentlich ja bei Lesen pausieren, was hier los ist. Also ich gebe für 5 Sekunden zum Lesen, wenn ihr pausieren macht. Und dann mache ich weiter. Für nach 5 Sekunden. Gut, die nächste. Und der nächste. Und die Rest. So, fertig gelesen? Gut. So, dann wisst ihr es.
Wow. Dunyarzad wrote all of this. Sounds like she was always thinking of us even while we were away. though she was also busy preparing for the Sabzeruz festival and had all her health problems to worry about. She must have wanted to give this to us as a gift on the day of the Sabzeruz festival, right? If we hadn't found this book, we never would have known. But now that we know, we can't even thank her.
Daher sagt.
Hey! Where are you off to now?
So, wohin? Ich möchte nicht, ja, das sehe ich. Da ist er.
It's Dunyarzad's puppet.
Ich glaube. Danke dir.
Traveler? You must be exhausted. Come to think of it, we've been stuck in this place for a really long time. Heck, even the last time we were chatting happily with Dunyarzad feels like an eternity ago.
Und das?
Paimon still remembers when we were sitting here, and the way her eyes sparkled when she talked about Nilou's dance of Sabzeruz.
Ich kann mich noch kaum noch daran erinnern.
There will always be frustrations in life, but I know that the point of living is not to leave behind any regrets.
That was what the real Dunyarzad said, wasn't it? Does that mean...
Dunyarzad?
Yes, traveler. What is it?
Oh, so she's still just a puppet. But just now, how come...
Kein Bedauern hinterlassen.
What? Where are we going this time?
Lass uns den Sabzeruz-Tanz ansehen. Jetzt kommen wir zum Ende. Tür auf.
If you continue to resist, we will have to order an investigation into every single event organizer. The Grand Sage has already granted you much leniency. I advise that you exercise tact.
How did things turn out like this?
Jetzt ist es Schluss.
Traveler? You don't have to get involved. He's a sage from the Akademie. I don't want to drag you into this.
Traveler.
Traveler? What the heck are you doing? If you get arrested by the Akademie, that's another day gone to waste.
wie erwartet.
Oh, of course! If this is the sage's plan, they wouldn't put themselves through this. So they're just substitutes.
What is this? What happened to the Grand Sage and his entourage?
Mhm. Was ist in diesen Blumentöpfen?
Like I said, they symbolize the goddess of flowers. It's just a shame that all the real Padisaras went extinct after her death.
Yes. The Greater Lord brought forth new Padisaras in memory of the goddess of flowers. But she ultimately could never truly replicate that beautiful shade of purple.
That beautiful shade of purple. Aren't these flowers real Padisaras? Just like the ones from the legend? I didn't even notice. Tanyarzad, did you find these?
But didn't you just say all the real flowers went extinct after the goddess of flowers passed away? So, how?
Yeah. What's going on here?
Nilou, schließ deine Augen.
Huh?
Stell dir vor, dass der Grill, rosa, weiße und seine Leute nicht vor deinen Augen sind.
You guys are acting weird. But okay, I'll try. Hey!
They disappeared! So Nilou's the host. What a surprise! Purple Padisaras don't exist in the real world anymore. But in Nilou's subconscious, they can appear as decorations on the stage. It's just like the example Nahida told us. People assume there will be food on a plate, and Nilou assumed there would be real Padisaras in the flower pots. So when you saw the flowers, you instantly knew it was Nilou?
Ganz genau.
But if we want to end the samsara, we need the host to become aware that they're dreaming. How should we make Nilou realize that?
Am I dreaming?
Huh?
Woher wirst du das wissen?
So I'm right. Is this Lesser Lord Kusanali responding to our celebration of the Sabzeruz festival?
Wrong guess, but you aren't completely wrong either. The point is, what made you think this is a dream? As far as you know, people in Sumeru don't dream, right?
Yeah, but have you heard the tale of the first sage? To prevent a calamity, he went on a journey to find the Dendro Archon.
Ooh, sounds familiar. Dinyarzad told us a story like that when we first arrived in Sumeru City. So it was about the first sage, huh?
Yep, but in the part you heard, he hadn't become the first sage yet. There's more to the story. His piety and wisdom were acknowledged by the Dendro Archon, and she finally gave her blessing to him. All kinds of spectacular scenes appeared in front of the first sage, as if all the knowledge in the world was being painted onto a canvas right before him. He was captivated. After who knows how long, he mastered all the knowledge he could comprehend. Afterward, he said to the Dendro Archon, "I miss my parents, my wife, and my children. I've been away from home for far too long. They must be worried." The Dendro Archon smiled. The next second, the sage found himself lying in his bed, as if he had just woken up from a dream. His wife, lying next to him, said, "You're off to search for the Dendro Archon today, aren't you? Have a safe journey, my love." In the end, the first sage took care of many disasters in Sumeru City and founded the Akademia.
So, the first sage was dreaming ever since the beginning of the story? He never went on his journey?
Yes. But his faith and determination were conveyed to the Dendro Archon, so she blessed him in the form of a dream.
Paimon understands where you're coming from now. That's a really interesting connection. But we really gotta wake up soon, like the sage in the story.
Daniel Nino es schon bemerkt hat.
I see. Well, it just so happens that today's Sabzeruz festival is almost over too.
Ja.
Since we're in a dream, let's make this final dance of Sabzeruz as beautiful as we can.
Darauf bin ich ganz gespannt.
The wait is over, everyone. I dedicate this to our god, the dance of Sabzeruz.
I'd be lying if I said I had no regrets. I would have loved to see Nilou's dance.
Oh, good morning, traveler. Oh, Paimon feels like she's been asleep for the longest time.
Morgen, Paimon.
Paimon's head feels super heavy. Did we oversleep? Do you even remember going to sleep last night? Paimon thinks it was after the Sabzeruz festival. The Sabzeruz festival! Have we finally escaped from the Sabzeruz samsara?
Ja, ich erinnere mich.
Quick! Take off your Akasha terminal!
Nachdem du besser tanzt, sah ich anscheinend. Geile M64-Textur.
She's not in her room. What happened?
Wir müssen zu dem Ort.
What usual spot?
Da wie in dieser Schleife ja wiederholt wurde.
Well done, traveler and Paimon.
What?
And
Fragezeichen?
thank you, Dunyarzad, for organizing the Sabzeruz festival for me.
I'm sorry, who are...
Dunyarzad! You're okay! Oh, don't
Okay.
like that!
Deine Saat.
Oh, Traveler Paimon, I have something amazing to tell you. I just had a dream.
Dieser Name mit
I
Fragezeichen
saw
ist
Nilou
fake.
performing
Ist
the
fake.
dance of Sabzeruz.
Also ich bin doch nicht so blöd. Das war's. Kapitel abgeschlossen. Und ich habe ein neues Item. Na. Damit. Ja. Dann sprechen wir erstmal noch mit sie.
You're actually Nahida, aren't you? Paimon felt like Catherine was acting weird when we met at the Sabzeruz festival. And Dunyarzad, did you save her? It's a really long story. We shouldn't disturb her. Her consciousness is still weakened. Let's chat somewhere else. How about by the traveler's favorite bench?
Sicher. Erstmal einen schönen Weg ja einfach abzukürzen. Weil ich weiß jetzt ja, wo ich hier hingehe. Der Banker, der am liebsten gehen würde. Gucken, wenn ich ja genau treffe. So. Die habe ich dann noch zum Schluss noch aufgehoben. So.
Let's talk about Dunyarzad first. It's such a relief that she's all right. After we parted on the last day of the Sabzeruz festival, I left the city and saw what the traveler had described. Among the countless dreams, I found one that was growing fainter and fainter. This proved my suspicion. Once Dunyarzad could no longer bear the Akasha harvesting her dreams, her consciousness began to dissipate. But this also meant it escaped the Akasha's control. Such a small fragment of consciousness can't last for very long, though. It will return to its original dream, where both will gradually fade until they completely disappear. I used all the power I had to keep her dying dream alive as long as possible. But it still wouldn't have lasted for much longer if it hadn't been for you two breaking the samsara. So it looks like we did manage to save Dunyarzad in the end. And not a moment too soon.
Das freut mich.
Huh? Why are you two smiling so happily? I thought you'd be so moved that you'd start crying. I need to spend more time observing human emotions. Both are fine. Everyone reacts differently. All right. You two must have a lot of other questions for me, right? After all, you saved my faithful believer. As your reward, I will answer any and all questions.
So, was habe ich Wald gestern, als ich bewusstlos war?
At the Avidia forest, there was this incense that made the traveler fall unconscious and dream of a huge tree and a red sky. You also heard someone's voice, right? It said world and forget me. Yeah, so you do know! We've been wanting to ask you what that was about, and if the red sky was related to Conria. It seems like the traveler established a connection to Irminsul. That was a message left by Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's residual consciousness in Irminsul. Perhaps her last memory before she died. As you two probably know, Greater Lord Rukkhadevata disappeared after the disaster in Conria. The timings of these events do line up, so your suspicions are reasonable. A message from Greater Lord Rukkhadevata? We thought it was from the Scarlet King. The Scarlet King? That god who died even longer ago? Some present-day desert dwellers still worship him. You probably just heard some of their conspiracies. Okay, so what does the message mean? I still haven't managed to decipher it. Even the Akasha isn't currently capable of doing that. Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's residual consciousness in Irminsul seems to be contaminated with something that has a very dangerous aura to it. Many devoted scholars go mad as soon as they connect their consciousness. I've warned the Academie about this many times, but people still keep falling victim to it. But I believe this is the key to saving Irminsul. That's why I've kept trying to decipher it. So the tree in the vision was Irminsul? Oh, Tainari also said that Irminsul is sick. Is it because of the contaminated consciousness? But even if you can't figure out what that vision was all about, it seems like our search for you was all in vain. The traveler wasn't affected after coming in contact with that consciousness. I've never seen anyone like that. With you here, we may have a chance at deciphering it. No, we must decipher its secrets. I've already eliminated all other factors that might affect Irminsul. This is the only one left. This puzzle has life and death at stake. It could determine Irminsul's fate, as well as Tevat's.
Okay, warum haben die Weißen der Akademie so etwas geplant?
There's never been any big problems with the Academia's governance of Sumeru. This is the first time I've seen them step out of line. I wonder what caused them to go down this path, and what they hope to achieve. Even though the city's residents haven't noticed anything strange, if the traveler hadn't broken the Sabzeruz samsara, the situation could have become dire. I tried to do some investigating in the Akasha, but I couldn't find anything suspicious, and all the people of interest seemed to purposely avoid wearing their Akasha terminals. I think they're deliberately trying to hide something. Oh, that reminds Paimon. In Gandharvaville, there was a sage who had invited Tainari to join some kind of project. Could it be related? Regardless, I need to first investigate the sage's motives, make things right, and punish them if needed. But I'll have to be discreet, or they'll see me coming.
Halt keine Bemerkung. Irgendwas stimmt mit Akasha
You
nicht.
mean how the Akasha stops you from having dreams? Yeah, it's been such a long time. No one's noticed something's up? It's not that no one noticed. It's more like no one cared. Ultimately, it's all rooted in the sage's misdirection. Misdirection? The sages convinced everyone to believe that being unable to dream is a sign of rationality and wisdom. Not dreaming is a badge of honor in Sumeru. Even if the truth is that their dreams are being reaped by the Akasha. With their propaganda in place, the sages can maximize their use of the Akasha to facilitate their research. Besides, Greater Lord Rukkhadevata must have created the Akasha in the hopes that it could be used to its full potential. That's why I've never come out strongly against this. Anyway, the perspective advocated by the sages drowned out any voices of doubt. By now, even those who never use Akasha terminals find it too shameful and embarrassing to talk about their dreams.
Okay, so, und jetzt die allerletzte Frage. Die bescheuertste. Warum siehst du eigentlich wie Catherine aus?
To be accurate, I'm using the Akasha as a medium to occupy Catherine's consciousness.
Mhm.
How did you do that? Poor Catherine. Does this mean you can also occupy other people's consciousnesses? Theoretically, I can enter anyone's mind as long as they're wearing their Akasha terminal. The Akasha is the legacy of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. As As Lesser Lord Kusanali and the first Akasha terminal, my consciousness has always been linked to the Akasha. I've always respected my people's free will, so I've never actually occupied their consciousness. When necessary, I just borrow this bionic Snezhnayan puppet. Oh, hold on. Did we just learn some deep, dark secret? So Catherine is... No wonder Paimon felt something was off about her. What about your own body? Why do you need to borrow other people's? Don't you live in the sanctuary of Surasthana? That story begins a long time ago. After Greater Lord Rukkhadevata disappeared, the sages found my newly born self and took me back to Sumeru. At that time, I was young and weak. The sages kept me in the sanctuary of Surasthana, ostensibly for the sake of protecting me. But I've hardly heard from them since. However, I do understand that they had hoped to find Greater Lord Rukkhadevata instead of me, a symbol of her passing. So, the sages basically put their new Archon under house arrest? How dare they! Why don't you teach them a lesson, Nahida? In some ways, they aren't wrong. Greater Lord Rukkhadevata was omniscient and omnipotent. Even after her death, the Akasha is still empowering this nation. And I'm still really far away from being able to call myself the God of Wisdom. Moreover, the Akademie is also more proficient at governing this country. My existence has little meaning.
Nimm mal an, bist du eine ausgezeichnete Göttin.
Yeah, you got a lot of believers. Just look at the Sabzeruz Festival. Everyone who showed up truly loves you. Thank you for the kind words. But I honestly don't need physical freedom as long as I can connect my consciousness to the Akasha. Trying to find a way to save Irminsul is my life's mission and top priority. I will work on that, and try to live up to being a deity in the meantime. Every once in a while, I will also take up the duties of the God of Wisdom and enlighten a lost soul here and there. Doing all that should be enough.
Gut, da habe ich ja keine weiteren.
Got it. I hope my answers were satisfactory, seekers of knowledge. To be honest, maintaining Dunyarzad's fading dream took a lot of mental energy. I think I may need to rest for a while. Oh, and you don't need to worry too much about the sage's activities for now. The Akasha won't be able to conduct another project on the scale of the Sabzeruz Samsara in the immediate future. Go and get some sleep. Leave everything to us. What a relief. This is truly the most exhausting birthday I've ever had.
Traveler? Paimon? Why am I here? Do either of you know?
Maybe you were sleepwalking. You know you can't wake up a sleepwalker.
Genau, was ich mir auf die letzte Beschalterfrage hier gefragt habe.
I see. Huh. I should visit my maintenance personnel sometime. Oh, I'm fine. I better go. Thank you.
Gut.
We've spent quite some time in Sumeru City, but ever since we last said goodbye to Lesser Lord Kusanali, we haven't heard anything from her. Oh, we can't just keep waiting around like this. Let's go find Catherine and pick up some work so we can at least keep ourselves busy.
Ja. Sind wir in den nächsten? Sind wir. Gut. Damit ist der Kapitel 3.2 beendet. Und ich hoffe, wir sehen uns in den nächsten Kapitel in 3.3. Aber wie dem auch sei, ich hoffe, es hat euch gut durchgehalten und euch gefallen hat. Dieser Kapitel war noch länger als das 3.1. 3.1 war ganz schön lang, aber 3.2 war es ein bisschen schnellartig von der Zeit. Aber ja, ist natürlich ja auch durcherlebt. Nun denn, ich hoffe, es hat euch gefallen. Wie gesagt, der Aber kommt immer Dienstag und freitags. Von der Zeit weiß ich nicht, aber wir sehen uns auch irgendwann mal wieder. Und wir sehen uns demnächst mal. Bis dahin und tschüss.